A Jedi is coming. He looks very unhappy.
Your master has gotten the message.
You have nowhere left to run, bounty hunter.
Now, if I may, this week's review will cover things rather quickly, as it's primarily driven by the action and establishing what Cad Bane's capable of, and continues the exploration of his character from last week, where we saw who he is, and now we get to see what he is.
I'll take on any job for the right price.
And we get a little insight to the relationship between Anakin and Ahsoka, and truly how protective Annie is, but also how capable the fucker can be on the fly as well.
I'll try spinning, that's a good trick.
We begin this installment with Anakin and Yularen's fleets duking it out in the skies with the excesses of Bane's forces that were loaned to him by Newt Gunray. It's at this point that we find out the Devron system has been overrun, and Bane's acquired Master Bola Rapal for his understanding of the holocron and the Kyber crystal that he holds.
Well, that's fucking not good.
As he attempts to leave the system, Anakin shoots out the hyperdrives, making Bane dead in space. As our heroes decide their next plan of attack, Bane begins torturing Rapal for the information he needs. After much resistance from Rapal, Bane cranks things up so far that he winds up killing him,
Worthy adversary, 'tis but a scratch.
forcing Cad to change his plans and instead creates a trap that will allow him to draw out either Ahsoka or Anakin away from the other so that he can force them to open up the holocron for him. After much deliberating, Anakin comes to a consensus that the only way to infiltrate Bane's ship is to fly overhead and drop him, Ahsoka and their men down on ATTs.
You serious?
This harebrained idea actually works, and they manage to get on board, quickly discovering Borrow's body and are led straight into Bane's trap. After a battle ensues on the artillery deck and things erupt into flames, Bane leads Ahsoka away where he's able to capture her and keeps electrocuting her, knowing that Anakin will feel this connection and come straight for her.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Anakin tracks Ahsoka down and is forced to unlock the holocron in place of her life. When after he does, he tries to attack Cad, but our belligerent badass planned for this and sets the doors to break, attempting to eject them into space. They manage to survive and instruct Rex to get a ship ready, where as this happens, Bane goes to escape but is quickly caught by a trooper named Denal, who gets into a scrap with him by the end, with Denal seemingly coming up strong against Bane, and the gang manage to get out of the ship before it explodes without either the holocron or the Hunter. But we close on Anakin feeling confused as he's still sensing Bane's presence. So it's undeniable that this episode dissects Cad and establishes the type of man that he is and cements the type of hunter he's capable of being. It's weird to say, but Bane is possibly one of the Republic's toughest challenges, as his stoic, callous and maniacal nature flips their understandings of what a bounty hunter looks and acts like.
Ain't no thing like me except me.
Cad not only managed to dupe the Chosen One, but captures his apprentice with ease, kills the Jedi Master without blinking, steals a damn holocron like swiping a piece of candy, leads a separatist fleet, and goes toe-to-toe with an entire squad of clones where he takes them down like he's playing Duck Hunt. Cad makes everything he does look so effortless, and captures your attention with a gravelly voice, Clint Eastwood-inspired getup, calculated movements that work to overwhelm his enemies, and the oversized hat that disguises the Man of Mystery as he cripples everything around him. I honestly love seeing how unprepared the Jedi are for bounty hunters, as it took some incredibly innovative maneuvers for Anakin and Obi to catch Zam Westel in episode 2, and then the struggles that our intrepid heroes will encounter with the likes of Aurra Sing and Boba Fett throughout the series as well, makes you realise that their training really didn't prepare them for much.
That's why you fail!
But credit where credit's due to Cad Bane, the guy must have either studied their fighting styles to evade them so easily, having been trained by Jango Fett in his early years, or thrown down against a few of them in his time. The man's level of proficiency is yet to be replicated in another hunter, with only Boba's return in The Mandalorian even coming close to what Bane is able to achieve here, and offer even a third of the spectacle that Bane does throughout the Clone Wars.
No, he's got a point.
Aside from the excellence of Bane here though, the other side of the coin focuses on Anakin and his issues with attachments. Anakin's history has meant that he'll do practically anything and everything he can to protect those around him, whether it be Padme, Obi-Wan, Rex, or in this case, Ahsoka. And this is an attitude the Jedi tend to ignore as they feel it compromises their ability to think objectively and act in good faith to the situations around them. whereas Anakin's attachment to people and his duty has allowed him to save all parties involved with minimal casualties in the past. Anakin makes emotionally driven choices and rarely comes up short until the night of Order 66.
Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?
Whereas we see from other members of the Order, they'll question the morality of one thing against another, which could run them down to the wire for the survival or safety of others. Anakin's impulsive nature and out-of-the-box thinking is pretty unorthodox to the Jedi, and that leads many to question him, but it's because of this that he's able to achieve such success in battle as he does. Demonstrated here, where he proposes using the tanks to access Bane's ship, he manages to work with no gravity and take down a bunch of Bane's forces, and saves Ahsoka whilst being sucked into space. And most likely he could have stopped Bane here as well had he had the chance. And what I never realised before was that this episode is a test of will, skills and intellect. Truly assesses who the better thinker and strategist between the two actually is, and who's the better leader and who will go to greater lengths to earn the victory. What stops Anakin from morally corrupting himself even further this early on in the timeline is Ahsoka. Had it just been Anakin versus the Hunter, there's no doubt he would have eviscerated him for the return of the holocron.
I don't have such weaknesses.
Ahsoka became his priority the second she left his side, and Ahsoka hasn't matured in her abilities enough to tackle someone like Bane effectively just yet. If this was later in the series though, with her improved abilities, I do believe Ahsoka could have landed a few good hits in against our hostile Hat Man. It's hilarious though that the Jedi gave Anakin an apprentice with the intention of helping him overcome this attachment issue, but they failed to see that this would just enhance what was already there. Meaning, little Annie will do anything to save those he loves, even if it comes at a cost to himself. It's a thematic beat that they return to at key points throughout the show when Anakin's confronted with Mortis, Mandalore, Ahsoka's departure and Obi-Wan's death. All crucial moments in his development to grow from the same sand-hating, Tusken-killing, tormented son of a bitch to the heroic, courageous, tenacious, baby-making young man in the movies that crumbles to the fear of losing everyone and everything around him that he loves to try and get the strength that he already had inside him to protect everything around him.
You fool.
And as for our young Togrutan, she was as boisterous as ever here and caved to her overconfidence once again, but got hit with a stark dose of reality when confronting Bane, but it's all character building as she grows from here, and proof of which she's not the new Mary Sue that people are claiming her to be now. The unconventional methods applied by all involved here felt like a flex from the animators and story writers, but it all served to provide a thrilling and captivating installment that offers the best look yet at our badass with a big hat and expands on the relationship between our dutiful duo devoted to each other's safety. The humorous use of the droids was perfect as well, and adding a tonal shift in the voice of the torture droid was interesting, but establishes range for our broken bots. And my last note goes to the hilarious but often overlooked detail of Rex bonking his head on a pipe in a similar fashion to a stormtrooper who got caught on a door in A New Hope. That's going to do it for me this week though, everyone. Thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoy what you see. Remember to subscribe to keep up to date with all of my reviews. And until next week, everyone, take care and may the Force be with you.